We need to go gambling immediately. And I'm not just talking about on money. I'm talking about we need to gamble on war. We need to gamble on who's going to win in Ukraine yesterday. Not only that, we need to start insider trading on top of that. And thankfully, the US government has just given us a way to do that. Polymarket has, after years of shamefulness, years of me using a VPN. I mean, actually, I would never do that. But if I did, that's the only way I would be able to access Polymarket because it wasn't allowed in the United States. And for good reason. They weren't giving the United States any money. They weren't really regulated correctly. They misfiled their paperwork. Now that they've done so and the US government gets, a cut, they're able to legally take advantage of stupid people. The Polymarket CEO, just for a little context, they're not based in the United States. The amount of insider trading that has been going on Polymarket's website is unheard of. It's insane. I don't really actually know where they're based out of, but it's definitely not the United States. They make so much fucking money because they're a gambling website, but not only that, because they literally are rigging the entire system. If you don't know what Polymarket is, it's a website that initially was based on betting for politics. So you would be like, who's going to win, Joe Biden or Donald Trump in the 2024 election? And you would bet based off the odds, In that scenario, it was pretty tight. No one could really tell what was going on. And there's clear-cut, definitive odds. Those odds being, if Donald Trump wins, you will get the money. If Donald Trump loses, you will get this amount of money based on the amount of people that were betting against it. Normal, like Vegas gambling odds. Now, the problem is, they open it up so I'm pretty sure you can create your own odds, which is very weird. Now, what really has been grinding my gears lately is the fact that you can now bet on war. You can bet on who's gonna win this new Ukrainian offensive, who's gonna win this new Russian offensive. It's insane to me. You can do this in real time. Truly a cyberpunk living scenario we're in right now, where you can just directly bet on the outcome of a battle, on the outcome of an entire war. This is late stage capitalism at its finest. Now, I already hate state-funded gambling. I don't want to go off on a tangent here, and don't get me wrong, I love gambling. Let's go gambling. Let's go gambling every day. The problem is people get addicted and they lose all their money. It's so interesting to see whenever you see a state-funded gambling ad on TV or you hear it on the radio or something, you hear, oh, if you have an addiction, please call this number, get some help. They're knowingly advertising an extremely addictive form of entertainment that ruins people's lives, and they're okay with doing it because they're making money off of it. Now, that doesn't sound horrible to you. I don't know what to say. I know it's an American right to absolutely fuck up your life. And don't get me wrong, I believe you should be able to do anything. But when it comes to gambling, especially the resurgence of it as of late, gambling was banned for a long time because the United States government had trouble controlling it. The mob was really who was in control of gambling for the longest time, and it, empowered them. The greatest enemy to the US government is other people taking their money, and that is the mob. They would always take advantage of any sort of bootlegging or whatever it would be. If there's a need, it's kind of like the cartel minus the drugs. The cartel is really a drug focused thing, but the mob, similar to them, will take advantage of any sort of need of the people, and the US government won't get any money out of it. And so once they do that, the mob kind of disappears because no one needs to turn to the mob anymore. My point being, that's why gambling has been back on the rise, because the US government outlawed gambling for the longest time. At least it was heavily regulated. Now it's still regulated, but not as heavily because most of gambling is done online. So there's no need for that sort of interference to begin with. Gambling done online is probably the most insidious form of gambling. I don't know if you have ever been to Europe or if you live in Europe. There's these little like mini casinos essentially that like people spend all day in person sports betting. But now you can just do this from the luxury of your own home, and you can just sit all day gambling. Probably like the worst lifestyle to have, I'm gonna be honest. Now, I'm rarely one to step in and say this is morally wrong or corrupt, because like I said, I don't give a shit what anybody does. It's just, to me, a problem when I see people's lives being detrimentally affected, when I see people's lives being ruined by this addiction. Listen, I'm for the legality of all drugs in general, and like having support around that helps. But with gambling's a little different. Gambling is an evil that is only being promoted and advertised because people are making money off of it. And by people, I mean the United States government. The United States government is actively engaging, almost like a drug dealer, but on the federal level, advertising you an addiction, and only because they make money off of it. That's my problem with it, and that's just my view on it. And I don't think that'll change unless they took the advertising out of it. I think that's really the detrimental thing in general. I'm okay with a state-funded gambling for the most part, but the advertisement of it is messed up, or at least it should be severely limited. So it's only like everybody buys into this one sort of lottery ticket scenario, and then one person wins. Like, that's cool, or multiple people win. That's all right in my my mind. I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem when it's marketed down to like all these other horrific forms of addiction, like scratch tickets or whatever. Like it's all owned and operated and run by the state at this point, and that's the problem that I have with it. Is they're trying to make as much money as possible. That's about it. That's all I want to talk about today, guys. I hope you're betting on Ukraine to win, because I have insider information that they are going to. I'll talk to you later.